Today on Romance Recap, we're discussing and dissecting, reviewing and recapping CandyJar TV's romance microdrama, The Bad Boy Wants Me, starring Joseph Purcell and McKenna Barrett. I am Liz Donatelli.
And I'm Tiffany Current.
Be sure to subscribe to Reader Seeks Romance channel so that you don't miss new episodes of Romance Recap on YouTube and all podcast apps. Tiffany, The Bad Boy Wants Me. Were you at all bothered by how young the female lead in this microdrama looked?
Interesting. I was not. I assumed that she just looked young and that he looked a little bit older. I think they're supposed to be in boarding school. I think it's supposed to be college, supposed to be real. I'm just saying, but
Is it?
no. They later on claim that it's boarding school. Yeah.
Let me tell you, I was tracking and I wrote the exact moment when they revealed the name of this school. And it's a high school.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it
But
should have
it's
been a
like,
college story, but
it should have
I
been
know.
college.
You
Yeah.
thought you looked too young? I was fine with it. I was fine with it.
At first, I thought she looked 15. And I was like, okay, this is a little okay. And, and we'll get to the opening scene, I'm sure, where he locks the
Yeah.
door and she looks like she's 15 and he looks 26, which is his actual age. I was like, oh my goodness. And
Oh my goodness.
I had to look up the
Wow.
actress's name to identify
Okay.
her and her age. So I
Okay.
would feel better.
How old
And
is she?
She's 22.
Okay. You and I clearly had a different experience watching this
Okay.
movie. You were
Okay.
traumatized. I didn't even notice it. I accepted it. I just thought I just thought it was funny and silly and ridiculous, and I like the chemistry between them. I like this one a lot. I thought this was one of his better ones. I will just say one thing on her age.
Yeah.
She reminded me of Blair Waldorf. There's one point where they show her and she has a little headband on and the plaid skirt, and I was like, she's totally Blair Waldorf. That's what I was thinking when I saw her.
Right. From Gossip Girls, right?
From Gossip Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, opening scene, we have Rain sitting on a bed in his sweatpants, and then Sky, the girl, walks in. And immediately I was like, once again, I think this is at least the third movie where he's wearing gray sweatpants. Have you noticed that? There's always a movie with Joseph Purcell wearing gray sweatpants.
He rocks the gray sweatpants. That is
I
his
love it.
brand. Yeah.
It's his brand.
I do
Love
too.
it. It's sexy.
Yes, he was very sexy in this particular
Yes.
microdrama. And he's been sexy in other ones, but he really was turning it on big time in this one. Yeah.
I mean, I will admit he was a little aggressive, like when she walks in the door and he locks the door or something or other. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
I don't know what's gonna happen here.
why do you think he locked the door? Because I didn't think that was necessary.
I don't know. It was strange. I allowed it because then he put her like his hand on her leg and I was like, okay, she's not objecting to it. So it's acceptable.
Right.
I thought it was very sexy. Then we find out it's a flashback and we cut to them again in the hallway. This all takes place in one sitting, as usual.
Yeah.
And like he's making fun of her, calling her Cherry.
Come on, Cherry. Last night before classes start, let's have some fun.
Stop calling me Cherry.
I'll stop calling you Cherry once you pop your cherry.
I gotta tell you, I'm a little tired of the virgin trope. It's in all these movies. Tired of it. Either way, what I thought was really nice is that she throws a drink at him and immediately he takes his shirt off. And I was like, that's very smooth. It was very smooth.
Let's face it, all of these microdramas are created with Joseph Purcell simply so he can have a chance to take his shirt off at some point.
And see his belly button. It's always like a slow pan down to just his belly button.
We talked about it with Rooming with the Devil, and we talked about they do the close-up on his chest, and it's like the belly button is right there.
The belly button.
It's the tease of the promise of what's below.
Oh my.
But I will say, my note was his whole swagger in that scene. I was about it. I'm like, I'm in.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. While I love the swagger and he's got that arrogance and he's, so cool, he's hip, and he knows what's up, I still would love to see roles reversed and for him to play a lead who is nerdy, who's the good guy, and he falls in love with the bad girl. Like, I'd love to see range. I think he's capable of it. I want to see
Yeah.
him not failing English, but him excelling in English and having to tutor someone. I still, I
That's funny.
love the swagger that
Yeah,
comes naturally to him. He does it well, but I would like to see
that's funny.
the script
I
flipped.
would like, I think it'd be fun. It's tough because he's so tall. He's so
Mm,
tall. So to have him play the role of the geeky guy when he's like
mm,
6'5", I don't know. For
yeah.
some reason, they don't like each other. He's been teasing her for years and he walks away because she's tired of him. And that's when her crush, Jesse, appears. And he's like, "Where's my girlfriend, Carly?" They go into the room, and for some reason, Carly, the villain, is on top of Rain.
Yeah.
And he's just like, "She just jumped on top of me. I don't know how she got." It was such a
Right.
random line. I was like, "What?"
I
It
feel
was so
as if there
funny.
was something edited out because
Yes.
like a minute after
It's so
Rain
fast.
leaves Skylar and Jesse, a minute after they turn
Yes.
around, Skylar and Jesse walk in the room and he already has Carly on top of him. It's
Yes.
like,
It's
how did this
crazy.
happen?
How did it happen? It was so fast. I too was like, and I rewound them. Did I miss a
Yeah,
minute? No, that's just how fast CandyJar works. It just said, we're gonna just cut to it. We're gonna go.
yeah,
What I love about that is like Jesse gets really upset, and then
yes,
all of a sudden, out of the blue, he's just like, "It's fine. I wanted to break up with you anyway because I'm gonna date Sky." Hence the fake dating trope
yep,
begins, and Carly gets jealous. So right immediately, it's like, here we go. Here's the plot point: fake dating to
yep.
make this other couple jealous.
Right. So what's really unbelievable, and they really maybe needed to smooth these rough edges out a little bit, is that Carly is just an unapologetic bitch who doesn't care about hurting Jesse's feelings by
It's true.
coming on to
His roommate.
Rain.
Yeah.
Um, and still in that moment, Jesse's like,
Yeah.
well, I've got to do everything I can to not only get back at her, but also win her back
Win her back. Yeah.
by doing this, staging this fake dating with my best friend. Apparently he and Sky are best friends.
Yes.
And I'm just like, and through most of this, he's like, oh, I really
You're
want to
like,
get her
why?
back. She's the whole package, he said.
Yeah.
And even Joseph Purcell's Rain character, he's like, yeah, whatever, guy. Now, did you realize at that point that Rain
Stop
and
it.
Jesse shared a dorm room?
I didn't. I just thought that Jesse was walking to the room and I'm like, what's happening here? It was very, I have to tell you, it was all over the place, but I liked how messy it was. I
Yeah,
enjoyed the mess. It was just so silly and fun. And I'm like, all right, fine.
yeah,
They live together. Fine.
right.
Jesse and Sky have been best friends since they were younger. Fine. I accepted it and I was
Yeah.
like, I'll go with it. I'll go with it.
Yeah, what is it about these CandyJar microdramas that we are totally okay with buying into, like you said, like kind of a
True.
mess. Like things were not like mentioned right away, and you found out later on, it's like, oh, they are roommates. Is it a
Yes.
college? Is it a boarding
What
school?
is it?
It
Yeah.
seems to be a high school, but they all seem like they're in college. And so it's like, what is it about them that we buy into so easily? Like it's like it's magic. It's
Hmm.
just magic.
It's magic, or it says something about us potentially that we are desperate for content. I don't know, but
Maybe.
either way, it works. What I love about this is that we cut to Sky talking to her best friend. I don't know the best friend's name, but she was like my favorite character. She's just like,
Oh,
let me tell you what's happening here. We're doing a fake dating trope. He's gonna fall in love with you. This is how it works. She gave the rules of the game, and I'm like, oh, I like that. She's just setting it all up. Very
yeah.
supportive. She's great.
It's too bad this isn't a movie, because if it was, all you have to do is fake date him, then he'd fall in love with you without even realizing. Wait.
I wrote down too that I love the best friend. The best friend's name is Lola. She also gives so much wisdom later on. Like there were things she
I
says.
know.
I was like, oh my, this
She's
lovely
good.
lady. Yeah. And what annoyed me is at the end, they insinuated that Lola gets together possibly in a
With
romance with
Jesse.
with Jesse. And I was like, really? We're gonna give Lola to
But
Jesse?
but maybe Jesse's a good guy. He just has poor taste initially in women. What I
Mm,
like from there is that Jesse and Sky decide to go all in and do this fake dating thing.
yeah.
And they go to a party together. And even right away, Sky walks in. I write down that Rain just leans in. He keeps lean like he does the lean. He
Yeah.
does like a sexy lean. Everything he does is sexy to me. I don't know. The lean in was killing me. He keeps calling her a good girl, and he keeps saying, "I'm not buying a relationship."
Enjoy holding hands with your fake boyfriend?
And then finally,
Yeah.
Jessie shows up. This cracked me up, and they tried to dance in a sexy fashion.
Oh
She's
my
like
God.
whipping her hair around, hitting him in the face.
Ah,
It was cracking me up. It was
I
cracking me up.
I thought that the actress who plays Skylar
Yeah,
McKenna Barrett did a fantastic job
great job.
of communicating kind of naivete and innocence, sweet, sassy, and also kind of awkward.
Very
And
awkward.
I thought it was comedy gold when
It
when
was.
she was leading him in this dance to make it look as if they're together, and she's
Yeah.
like teaching him things to say and do.
It
And
was
of course,
cute.
the whole time, like you said, Rain is like, I know that
It's fake.
this is all fake. This is ridiculous. And he keeps insinuating that, like, I know what you want. You
Yeah.
really need a guy like me. You want me, which I love that.
It's like,
Um,
okay, sure. Yes, you are
yeah.
correct, sir. I do.
Yeah.
You are correct. I do. I love that they go on from there and pretend like they're having sex in the bedroom. They're making noises.
Yeah.
They're pushing on the bed. He's saying, like, who's your dad? It was really, I thought it was really funny. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Why are they possibly buying this out in the hallway? Because Carly and Rain are listening in, and Carly's really upset that this is going on. I'm like, clearly it's fake. And what's so funny is
Yeah.
that whenever they're done faking it in the bedroom, Sky is like, well, we have to make it look real. So let me put on some lipstick and kiss your neck. And then she's like, I should probably kiss your lips. And then at that point, he wipes the lipstick off her lips and put it on his. I thought that was really funny. I'm like, that's good writing. That
that
was
was
cute.
that was great because I at that moment, because at that moment, right, like she's going to end up with Rain, but you also
Yeah.
want her to have some satisfaction and get a kiss from her best friend Jessie, who
Yes.
we know she's had a crush on. So it's like, oh good, she's going to get a chance to kiss him. And when he takes his finger and just rubs it on her lips and rubs it on his own, and her reaction of like
That was
disappointment but
great.
trying not to, fantastic. I think this was the best rom-com on Candy Jar.
It was really good because it was funny. It was funny, like zany. And I like that they took that specific path. I really
Yes.
liked it. After this happens, Jesse leaves and Rain walks in and he's just like, I know you were faking it. And that's when he says your line, like he says, you need someone who's gonna break you apart, then put you back together again. I know what you want. First of all, break you apart and put you back together again. I I was like, I
Yeah.
don't know about that. I'll take it because he's saying it. I don't know
Ye-
about that.
So that is a very, very popular line in romance fiction.
Interesting.
It's even in titles, break me apart, put me back together. And that's supposed to be
Interesting.
the pinnacle of desire and passion. I've always had an
Mm.
issue with I'm going to break you apart and put you back together. I could spend an hour explaining why that bothers me. So I don't even recall that he said that. So I think I
He said it.
blacked out. I just wouldn't accept it.
I wasn't a big fan just because it reminded me of Grey's Anatomy when the whole breakup scene with Meredith
Oh,
and
okay.
and she says like you broke me apart. I put myself back together. So I was like, I don't want someone to break me apart. Either way, he's
Right.
sexy. The whole point is though he leans in, I think he does a gentle kiss to her and she
Yeah.
kind of moans and I'm like, all right, guys, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
in even more.
Yeah. I don't think she was acting. I think that was a real experience of
That
her
was a real
moaning.
moan. That was
Yeah.
a real moan.
Um,
Like, I mean, who wouldn't have a real moan from him? It's true.
I know. I bet he smells
Yeah.
good. What do you think he smells like? Like,
I don't know what he'd smell like.
yeah. I don't
Like
know.
firewood burning. I don't I don't know where
Okay.
smoky.
Firewood,
I
yeah.
guess
So
smoky.
earthy. You mean like earthy?
Earthy. That's probably a better way of putting it. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably earthy. I don't know. But from there, there's a scene where she accidentally ends up in the men's shower. Okay, fine. But what I like is
Oh
that he
yeah.
gives her his towel and she does a
Yes.
glance down. I'm like, I like this. I like where this is going. It's fun. It's
Oh,
silly.
so fun. That I wanted to live in that scene. Oh my God, how intimate was that? Like to give
Very
someone your
intimate.
towel, there could have been the smell of his essence on that towel, and now you're cloaking yourself in that. And I was like, I'm all
Essence.
about this.
He's
Yeah.
sleeping with that towel at night. We go from there, and I believe this is when the whole hide and go kiss happens next. I think they put a mask on her, they spin her around, and whoever she kisses, whoever she touches first, she has to kiss. Did you say there's a song with that?
There is kind of like a sing-songy rhyme, da 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 da, da, like I don't know, round and round you go. Who you kiss, nobody knows. Something like that. So, but I want to mention before we go
Funny.
deeper into this
Yeah.
this childlike game, I wanted to mention something because it comes up later. Up to this point, people have commented on the fact that Rain is like kind of a degenerate.
Yes.
They call him an arsonist.
Bad boy arsonist.
He
Yeah.
set fire to something. He's a troublemaker type of thing. So that's important to note. And then there was a great bonding moment between Rain and Sky when he challenged her to steal the test answers
Yeah,
to
that's
the
true.
biology test to prove she could be bad. Because she's like, I'm not always a good girl. He's like, well, prove it. And I thought that
Steal
was,
this test.
yeah.
Okay.
And that was the first moment of like their relationship softening.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. And then, yes, there's the hide and go kiss song. And apparently they blindfold you and then you just knock
Yeah.
on
And
doors.
they just push you, and hopefully you'll run into somebody at the
Yeah.
school and not like an administrator. She thinks she sees Jesse, her crush, but instead she kisses whoever it is. It ends up being Rain, and it's like a
Yeah.
hot kiss. I was like, okay.
It was nice.
It was a nice kiss, and her
Yeah.
friend walks in, and her friend is like, "Oh my God." I love the best friend Lola. She's like, "Oh my
Yeah.
God, I can't believe you kissed the bad boy." And it was cute. It was
And I'm
cute.
assuming that was her first kiss too, right? That was
I think that
Guy's
was her
first kiss.
first kiss. Yeah, exactly. With the
First and
blindfold.
only kiss ever because he's the only guy she'll ever kiss after this.
It's very possible. Yeah.
I have in my notes, I don't
Yeah.
know who mentioned this, troublemaking, law-breaking playboy. And what's interesting is I
The
understand
friend,
that, the
Lola.
friend mentioned that. But here's the thing, like, did you get that he was a playboy? Like, he only seemed to have eyes for Sky. Like, I didn't see any indication that he's a playboy, or are they talking about the Carly situation?
I think they're just talking about the Carly situation
Oh,
because
okay.
that happened. Me either. I was like, really, he's a playboy because he's giving you a lot of attention. So I don't think that's quite accurate, but I think it's probably the Carly situation.
Okay. Now, this is the point at which I said Rain refers to our dorm. Does he and Jesse share a dorm? Then I wrote, love his fingers. And
Okay, that's strange.
yeah,
Interesting.
very Julia Stiles in 10 Things I Hate About You. That's
Okay,
who the actress McKenna Barrett made me think of, who played
interesting.
Sky. I felt like she was very much like Julia Stiles.
I could see that. Yeah.
And then I put Carly and Jesse are getting back together. Planned breakup with Skylar. Jesse is fucking clueless.
Jesse is clueless. I don't even understand him. I think this is a scene though where they're on the park bench.
Yes.
And I think what I liked about that scene though, other than Jesse being clueless, is that I believe Rain tries to tell what really happened, and she stops him by putting her hand on his leg.
Yes.
And then he
Yes.
puts his hand over hers.
Yeah.
And whenever Jesse runs off after Carly, he like once again does the slow hand up the leg. I'm like, they're really pushing on that slow hand up the leg. That is like a repetitive motion.
That
It
is
happened
his
like 4 times.
in this particular show, or you mean
Yeah, it seemed
throughout
like it
his
in the
yeah.
show. Yeah.
He does a lot of fingers grazing upper thigh, and that I think is becoming his signature move. Didn't he do this in
Interesting.
Grooming with the Devil? Like, I feel like he's been playing around with the whole,
He's
upper thigh.
definitely done it in other movies. I like it.
I think the upper thigh graze with his long tapered fingers really works. Maybe that's why I put love his
Tapered.
fingers.
Okay.
Long tapered fingers. I think that's why I put love his fingers.
They're like wearing denim. Okay. Yeah, I don't
Tapered. When I say tapered, you think of tapered denim jeans.
tapered jeans. I was like, what? Tapered fingers. I think that's why you said the fingers, because yeah, they did like a close-up of his
Okay.
hand going up her
Got it.
leg or something or
Yeah.
other. That's very funny. So we go from there, and this is like it's silly to call it even like ridiculous, but the whole movie's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So Carly goes to talk to Jesse to say, like, I don't want to call off our fake dating scheme. She's in there with Rain, and then suddenly Jesse comes back. So she's like, no, you have to hide me. He can't see me in here like this.
Right.
And that's when he hides her under his bed sheet so that Jesse could come. I'm like, how is Jesse not going to notice this huge body in his bed.
Well, as
I
we
don't know.
said before, Jesse is clueless. So it made sense that he wasn't really analyzing the fact that it looks like there's a
Or
body
Jesse.
underneath a sheet in your bed. Before I comment on that, I want to mention that when Lola speaks to Sky shortly before this scene, I wrote, Lola speaks so much truth. She tells Sky, Jesse might be a good one, but not the
Yes,
right
at the
one.
right one. Yeah.
And she said, fuck should. Who do you want to be with? And I was like, you know what? That applies to beyond relationships. That wisdom can be applied to.
Let me just say something really funny. When they're in the bed
Yeah.
and he's hiding her, like right before he gets in bed, like Jesse's getting ready to go to bed. Jesse gets into his own bed and he looks at Rain and he says, "Hey," he's like, "Take your sweater off. Why are you wearing it to bed?" And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Is this a gay romance?" It was very strange.
That would have been awesome if they started making out and she's underneath the sheet.
She's like, "Huh?"
What's going on? Um, here I thought that was
It was
strange
funny.
too. There was no
Yeah,
organic way for listen, all they had to do is
I
have it
know.
where he answered the door when she came in with his shirt already off because he was getting ready for bed.
Yes.
Why have him wear a sweater so that way now someone's got to tell him to take it off
Yes.
so that way it raises the sexy states that he's got no shirt and they're
It's
both underneath
funny.
the blankets
Yes.
together.
Yeah, that's actually an excellent note for the director. You should be directing this movie. That is correct. Because
Yeah.
whenever Jesse said, "Take off your sweater," I was like, wait,
What?
what? Why are you asking him to take off his clothing right now? I think he
Yeah.
says because it's like 100 degrees. Are you crazy? And I understand that, but I'm
Yeah.
like, no, that's weird. I'd be like, why is my roommate telling me to get undressed? He gets under the sheets, and of course they're
Yes.
very quiet. And what I thought was so funny is at some point when they're chatting quietly, she's like, "I have no time for hijinks." She used the word hijinks. I felt like I was in Scooby-Doo, like she was Velma. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, what's going on?
First of all, I thought that was awesome. Let's bring back the word hijinks. Okay. I want it mentioned all the time in just
Fine.
daily
Yes.
conversation.
Yes.
I thought it was well chosen, that word, because it's showing that she's a little bit nerdy,
Yeah.
knows big words, I guess.
Yeah.
And that she was feeling very flummoxed. Like she was getting so
Yeah.
nervous. She's like,
It's true.
taking out the dictionary there to try to distract herself. I wrote down that he also stripped down to his boxers. So did he take his
Mm.
pants? He took his sweatpants off too, I
I
guess.
think so, yeah. I mean, he's getting ready. I mean, his
Yeah,
roommate told him to, so he had
right.
to. So yeah.
And this is the point at which she said she runs track and she's going to be up for an early meet. Did we
Yeah, I
know
think
she was into track before
that's the
this?
first time we discover there's a running club, apparently.
Yes.
And that's also when we find out the story of what actually happened to him, where he was on a phone call, and I guess he found out once again that his dad is leaving his mom, a theme of people being left by their parents.
Yeah.
And that's when he had an anxiety attack, and I guess he woke up and things were on fire. And that kind of explains his whole pyromaniac thing. I don't know.
That's why
Fine.
he got that reputation. Yeah. To finish off the hijinks comment, Joseph Purcell's Rain says to Sky, you always got to leave room for
For
hijinks.
hijinks.
That's just a given. And that belongs in a shirt because that's how everyone should live their lives. The story that he reveals, I was like, okay, this is just a little bit melodramatic. So he's
Yeah.
smoking, he gets the call from his mom, and he's so upset that the
Yeah.
dad, who I guess is kind of a bum, is finally leaving. He gets an anxiety attack and he passed out and woke up and the bushes were on fire.
Things were on fire. Correct.
So here's
Fine.
the thing.
Sure.
I looked this up. I live with panic attacks and
Okay.
I've never passed out, and I was told by therapists that you usually do not pass out from panic attacks. So I looked it
Okay.
up, and
Okay.
apparently it's very, very rare that you can pass out. But it's very rare. So I was like,
Okay.
because it's very rare, like maybe they could have come up with something else. Like maybe
I
he was like,
like,
oops, oh, I'm so excited that he flicks his hand. Oh no.
okay. I do like that you got stuck on that
Yes.
and not stuck on the fact that they're doing all this craziness in a boarding school and all this other nonsense that's happening. And there's a fake dating trope that's happening.
Yeah,
But
you're right.
I will accept you getting stuck on the panic attack.
I,
That's
I
fine.
I'm very passionate about people representing panic attacks accurately.
Okay. Well, now we know the truth, and we can write to CandyJar about it, and we'll see what they say for the next one. Like, get this right. We go from there the next day. Jesse finally realizes that Carly is a terrible person after all this time, and he's just like, I'm done. I'm gonna go be with Sky. He runs off. For some reason, Rain and Jesse get into like a fist fight over Sky out of the blue, like a fist fight, an actual fight.
You're trying to steal my girl again.
Hey!
She's in your fucking girl. You're just using her to get back with Carly. You know what? You're right. I was because that's what I thought I wanted. This is who I'm actually meant to be with. Do you want to be my girlfriend for real this time? What do you think?
And basically, Sky chooses Jesse, and Rain runs off. I'm like, okay, it was out of the blue, this fight.
I wrote down, Rain slugs the shit out of him. So Jesse goes down. Jesse said, "Oh, you're trying to steal my girl."
Yeah. And it's like, this girl you've been fake dating?
Right. No. So I wrote, so then the fake dating secret is revealed to everyone. And then Rain gets upset when Skylar picks Jesse.
Yeah.
And Rain takes out a garbage can. He just kicks it to death. He attacks a garbage can. Skylar is less sure because of Rain.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Skylar's like, "Oh yeah, I'll be with you, Jesse." But she's thinking of Rain.
She's thinking of Rain. She ends up kissing Jesse, and right away we know as the audience, okay, there's no spark. There's no spark. So we see her again. This is the first time we see them actually running track. And I guess she has a panic attack. She has a panic attack. She gets into a little fetal position. And somehow Rain is there. He scoops her up and takes her away.
I have everything to say about those occurrences, and I have nothing to say. It was perfect.
It's perfect.
It was perfect.
It was over the top.
It was melodramatic. It was over the top. It's like,
Yes.
okay, so now this chick has panic attacks like it's contagious because
contagious.
he told her, I have one, now she's going to have one. And we assume the panic attack is because she knows she shouldn't be with Jesse and she should be with Rain, I think.
Yes.
And then she's like, "Oh, well, the nurse said I'm dehydrated." It's like, well, I don't know if that's true. And carries her back to her dorm. And when she wakes up, Jesse, not Rain, is there.
Jesse is there, and she basically says, "Look, I don't think we have a spark." She kind of breaks up with him. He agrees. He's like, "Great. We should just be." It was a very neatly wrapped in a bow situation where he's like, "I don't like you." She doesn't like him. He goes off, and then Rain comes in. And what I love about this is that he's just like, "Oh, my therapist gave me some breathing techniques. I can I can share them with you." And she perks up so much. And I perked up too. I was like, "Therapist." I was like, "Where is this information?" And what I love is, this is a line that I wrote. This is my favorite line in the entire show. She's like, "Therapist," and he's just like, "Well, I'm trying to be better."
Say it. I have the same quote written down. Go ahead.
How do you say it again?
Okay. I wrote this down too because I was like, okay.
So funny.
He says, "I'm trying to do better, working on my delinquency."
You go to therapy?
I'm trying to be better, working on my delinquency. Delinquency.
And I wrote, did AI write this line? Because it sounded so awkward.
Oh my God.
But here's the thing. I guess he meant
So
it kind of
funny.
maybe like a joke. But
Oh my God.
technically, he's not a delinquent. Well, I guess because he was smoking and accidentally burned down the bush.
He
But
got
other
in
than
trouble.
that, we have no reason to believe he's a delinquent. But he's like, working on my delinquency. And I was like, huh? I was
Oh
like,
my God.
AI wrote that line.
That is my favorite line
Yeah.
in the entire movie. I actually thought he delivered it well. And I was like, "Working on my delinquency. What?"
Yeah.
I want that on a t-shirt. That's what I want. You can have yours on your t-shirt about
Oh.
hijinks. I want the delinquency on my t-shirt because I'm like, what? Working on my delinquency.
That's great. Working on my delinquency would be a great t-shirt.
Great t-shirt.
Yes, I
Um,
agree.
It was a great moment. It was totally ridiculous. They end up getting together. I think they make out and stuff. She wins a race at the very end. It's all wrapped up. It was fantastic.
The one thing that I could have done without, I don't think it was needed,
Yeah.
But he explains to Sky in their heart-to-heart conversation, he admits that he was a dick to her all
Mm.
these years. Now, when he says
Oh
all
yeah.
these years, I guess they're seniors, and it's been for the
Oh,
past 3, 4 years. He says because he wanted to get her attention. And I'm
yes.
like, that's kind of a weak sauce reason. That's very grade school. Like, oh, I wanted her
It's
attention, so
very
I.
grade school.
But I guess people do neg each other
Yeah,
as a
they do.
way of bonding. I did note that Joseph Purcell's acting adds gravitas to his
Hmm.
characters. He grounds the story in authenticity. Except the line with the delinquency, I thought we could have done without. But
No, that was like, I don't know, butter on bread. It was just enough. It was
yeah,
just enough for
yeah.
me.
I'll be honest, I
It's
felt he was
funny.
very vulnerable at the end. He even mentioned like
Yeah,
he wanted anything she had to give. So even if she had a negative response to him, like he would take anything, which made me
I
feel like
know.
someone
It's
hurt
very
him.
sweet. And I
Someone hurt
felt
him.
like I wish when he said all that stuff, and I felt it too. I'm like, oh, he's a good actor. I
Yeah.
was like, I kind of wish they'd introduce this like midway through.
Yeah.
So, and they could maybe work up a little bit more than that. But I really liked it. And when he did say, I'll take anything you can give, I'm like, I guess his dad really leaving had, had an impact on his life. I don't know. It was
Yeah.
deep. It was deep. I liked it. I liked the ending. It was really quick. A lot happened. It was great. It's great.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much. I had started watching it a while ago. I said, "Oh, Tiffany's got to watch this."
Working on my delinquency. On my delinquency. Delinquency.
Well, that's all we got for you. Join us next time when we crack open the candy jar to review another sinfully sweet, bite-sized romance on Romance Recap.